Welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. I've got 3 wonderful crops that you can grow in the subtropics during the heat of summer. Well, it's the heat of summer. If you saw my last video, you saw the abysmal state that my garden is in. It is in terrible shape because it's really too hot for the spring crops to continue. It's very hot to get out there and weed the garden with all the weeds they seem like they can overtake you in an hour or two. So it's really not looking great out there, but there are some crops you can grow in this miserable, humid, it's 72% humidity right now. You can grow in this humid, miserable subtropical climate. If you live in a place like me, there's still a chance that you can grow stuff through the summer. And I'm going to show you 3 different crops that thrive in the heat. The first crop is okra. Okra does well in the heat. It laughs at bad soil. It grows in heavy clay. It can grow just about anywhere. So I'm going to grow some okra. I've got some already started, but I'm going to grow some more. And I'm going to grow it in a small raised bed. I'm going to grow other things in that raised bed as well. I'll show those to you. But okra, let's see how you plant it. Couldn't be easier. Alright, I just want to make sure I've got some soil here and not just a bunch of mulch to put my seeds in. This is a hugelkultur bed that's been here for, I guess it's on its 3rd or 4th year. And I've got had a lot of garlic planted in here for the past 6 months. And it didn't do so well. It's not the soil's fault, it's the weather's fault. But I'm going to put a row right down the middle of some okra. Okra will grow here just fine. We're going to get a big rain tonight. And it will water these seeds in just fine. They'll grow through the summer and hold this bed over until about the time I need it in the fall. Not sure what I'm going to put here in the fall, so might as well have something growing in it. These are my chives, and they're the only thing left growing in here. So I've got some okra, some emerald okra from Generations, Seeds for Generations, and I'm going to have to come and thin these. But I'm just going to put them in the middle here and cover them over. And then down here I'm going to put a different kind of okra, and that will be 3 kinds of okra growing for me this year. I have a few plants coming up in another raised bed. So I'm just going to cover these over. And this half over here will be the emerald okra. I'm going to make myself a sign. And once these come up, I can move this mulch back around the base of the plants. On this right hand side, I'm going to put in this burgundy okra. What we're going to do when this okra starts producing, I'm going to pickle it. I have discovered that I like pickled okra. I can't get this open, so we're just going to tear it. There we go. Not a lot of seeds in the pack, but enough to get some plants going. And after all, you don't need much okra. I only need 3 or 4 plants in here to be good producers. I just plant them about a ½ an inch deep. And really, I don't think it matters that much. Don't go any further than 1 inch. And there we go. I'll let the rain tonight water this in. And then we'll come back, like I said, we'll put all this mulch back around these plants when we are able to see the plants. This has been a real organic bed. There's lots of fungal life growing in here. There's some bird cup fungus, which is a type of it's like a mushroom. But lots of fungus growing in here. That means there's a lot of organic material breaking down. Awesome. The second crop that thrives in summer heat is the sweet potato. Yes, the traditional orange sweet potato that you can buy at the store. The only catch is you got to start your slips earlier in the year. Got to start your slips in the spring. I have videos on how to start slips from sweet potatoes, and the ones I began this spring are really out of control. I really need to get them in the ground, and I'll show you how out of control they are when we pull one of these out of a pot. The roots have gone all the way down in that pot. It's root bound. But we're going to break some slips off and we're going to plant them in a raised bed, and that will give me plenty of sweet potatoes. I may grow some more in my other beds. I've got some slips that are needing to go in somewhere, and I'm just simply I haven't got to it. But you can grow sweet potatoes, and with a long season here in the subtropics, it might take a little longer than so we're planting 1st of July. It's going to go into September and October before we can really expect to see any substantial root development in tubers. Sweet potatoes aren't tubers, they're roots, but we call them tubers. But if I plant them in a place that I don't need for my fall crops, I can just let them go until they naturally die off. They can dig up some roots and have some sweet potatoes. So they'll make it through the heat of summer, and they are troopers. I'll show you how to transplant those slips. I've got some sweet potato slips that are very much in need of going in the ground. Let me show you what we have here. Let me pull up one of these potatoes. Might come in handy. Yeah, they're packed in there good. That means there's a lot of roots. That's what we want. We want the roots. Here, I'm just going to pour this right out here, and we'll separate it that way. Look at the roots. We've already got colored roots growing in here. There's so many roots in here, I've let this go a little bit too far, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take these plants off. We're literally going to break them off. And we're going to try to break them off with some root material on them. Let me show you. That's what we want to see. We want to see the plants with roots, and then we'll separate them out, and that's all you need. We will plant these, and each one of these will be a Murasaki purple sweet potato plant. What you'll want to do, get them in there pretty deep, just like so. Cover them over. Now what I'm going to do is break the stem and leave just a few leaves for them, because that little root that we just pulled out of there won't be able to support an enormous plant. So that's what we want to do. We're going to break it off right about there. That's all the plant we need for that little bit of root. In fact, we could probably even go a little closer to the root. Put that down in there. And I'm going to have to water this in really good, even though we're getting a lot of rain tonight. This is very, very dry soil. Think about sweet potatoes. They'll grow almost anywhere for you. Let's see here. Take some leaves. Not much root on this. So we'll snap it right about there and leave 6 leaves. It's about that much root. Stick that down in there and bury it over. Now, it doesn't matter how healthy your sweet potatoes are. When you do this and plant these slips, they're going to look like they want to die on you for the first day or 3. That's okay. Phoebe, get out of there. You're going to get poked by a thorn. Oh, dogs. That's a big old bunch of roots right there. I'll preserve as much of this as I can. We don't need the potato. Let's separate this out. We've got a little plant there that's probably not going to work for us. That will work. That's a good one. Stick that down in there. Bury it back up. These sweet potatoes are going to spill out all over this yard. I'm going to have trouble keeping them in here. That's all right. Just another task to overcome in gardening, huh? Going to give these a lot of water. Okay, in this batch I've got some fish emulsion fertilizer, because these plants have been far too long in their pot. There's not a lot of green in them, and we want to green them up, give them a good head start here as much as we can. Yeah, probably won't ever get the sweet potatoes out of a bed like this once you start growing them there. They'll store down there the little roots you miss. They'll volunteer back up for you next year. That's the way sweet potatoes are. Remember what I said about your sweet potatoes looking like they're going to die on you. These are going to probably drop these leaves, but there's some fresh new growth that's not struggling. I did give them some fish emulsion so I could try to green up these yellowing leaves, but just need to get some water on them. It does look like we're about to get some rain, so that's good. Over here the okra's doing just fine, nice and strong. Check this out. This is the third crop that you can grow in the subtropics during the summer. This is a true yam. This is a Dioscorea alata. It is a purple yam. And when I say yam, I'm not talking about sweet potatoes. I'm talking about a true yam. It's a tuber fruit, or a tuber down in there. And I planted this. It was about that big. It looked like a little dried up dog turd, to be honest with you. And I got this from David the Good over there in Alabama. And it sat on my countertop for quite a while before I finally said, I got to get that in the ground. And I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I stuck it in this unassuming pot here and waited and waited. I thought it wasn't going to come up. Months it was in here. Well, it got hot, and all of a sudden it threw up a vine. Look at this vine. This vine travels up and over into my fig tree, way over here, jumps to the next fig tree, way up high, and there it is down there. So that's a good long vine, and it's still growing inches a day, growing like crazy. I don't really have a good place to put this one, but I need to get it out of that pot and get it in a larger pot. So I might just put it in a larger pot right here and let it grow among all these trees. So there we go. That's a true yam. Here's another couple of true yams. This is a Name yam, N-A-M-E. That's just a generic name. There are many species within the yam genus, Dioscorea, and I don't really know what this one is. My buddy gave this to me. He picked this up in Florida at an ethnic market. I keep hitting it. So this is a true yam. It's not a sweet potato. This is a Dioscorea species. I don't know exactly which kind, but we'll look it up. But how long have these been in the ground? And they came up in what, just 2 weeks ago or a week ago?
Yeah, they've been in the ground about 2.5 weeks.
That's awesome, man. All right, well, let's get them in. And he cut these yams, these tubers, into chunks, and he planted them in here. Well, this is what's left of the two plants that I've already dug out of here and planted in my little raised bed here. This is the other one. We're going to dig this one out and find a place for it too. But they shot up a couple weeks ago, and this thing was about 6 inches shorter when I picked it up from my buddy. True yams are a starch just like a sweet potato. You can use them in the same way. They are one of the most popular starch foods in the world. Not so much here in the United States. We eat potatoes and sweet potatoes. But in the tropics, this is the sweet potato. In the tropics of Africa, Central America, South America, and Asia, you find these yams all over the place, and they're very popular. There are hundreds of different varieties. I don't really know what we have here, but I was told that this is a white-fleshed yam, and you can see this is just the tip of one of those yams. They get pretty big. They can get monstrous in size. You let these grow up, these beautiful leaves are quite ornamental, and they'll climb over all kinds of structure, and they'll climb for dozens and dozens of feet, if not more. And what they're going to do is they're going to start building that yam underground. That yam will build, and eventually you'll be able to dig it up and eat it. If you leave it there, though, it'll get bigger the next year. So you can put these in and kind of forget them. So I need to find a place for these. Right here where I just planted those okra seeds, I put in 2 little yam sprouts right here. I broke these off of that tuber. They had roots on them just like I did the sweet potato slips. And I'm going to let these kind of grow right here. And I'm going to let them grow up this pole and let them just kind of sprawl in this area. And the okra will come in the middle of this bed. But I need to find a place for this other guy, this big one here. Well, on second thought, I have this giant pot. That's big enough to grow a yam. I wonder if I have enough potting soil and dirt, mediums that I can put in here. Doesn't have to be real good stuff. I've got this stuff my neighbor gave me, which is not the best potting soil. So I'll put it down at the bottom. Yeah, that's not good stuff, and it's already got things growing in it. And here comes the rain again. I've got another bag of soil that we can put in here, and I think 2 bags ought to be enough for our purposes. We'll see. Oh, these are all waterlogged. And hey, Jumpy Spider, come out of there. Folks have been having trouble with this Kellogg's brand lately. I'm seeing a lot of chatter about how it's not what it used to be. Well, we'll see. I'm going to dig a pretty good sized hole in here because I'm going to try to preserve the soil that my friend gave me in that pot, because it's filled with good stuff. He said there's rabbit manure in there and all kinds of goodness. I'm just going to try to preserve that. There we go. Whoa, it went the wrong way. Alright, well, that happens, you know. Fortunately, these are very tough plants. See if we can't raise it back up here. You know, we got them. Knocked some vine off. But there are plenty of roots right there. Plenty of roots. I don't see the original yam itself. Let's put some of this good soil in here. Preserve some of this goodness that he gave us. Well, it ain't pretty yet, but it will be. Got some rain falling. It'll water this in really well and clean these leaves off. Well, as I said, it's not pretty. It's kind of dirty. Rain will wash that off. We have plenty of roots on these vines. This will take off, and that's enough soil to grow a 10 or 15 pound yam down in there. I'm just going to have to find something for these yams to climb on. These trees will be sufficient. It probably needs a pole and some sort of trellis to get way up high. If I can get it up there on my roof, who knows? Well, that's a mystery we'll solve later. Right now I'm just happy to have this crop in. I'm getting soaked, I'm going inside. Well, a fella can't complain about that during a drought. I'll stop my video short any day for a rain shower. Free water. Well, it's beginning to rain actually, so I'll probably have to cut this video short. But there are 3 crops that you can grow in the summer in a subtropical environment where it's really, really hot. These crops thrive on heat because they're tropical in nature. Sweet potatoes will go through the summer, okra will go through the summer, and these true yams will thrive in this heat. And what makes them nice is I'm putting them in places that are not my main beds behind me that are kind of in shambles right now. I'll need those main beds in the fall beginning around October 1st, but I won't necessarily need all my other little beds where I'm putting these in, so I can let them grow past October because I'm getting a little bit of a late start. And this year has been a hot year. October is usually pretty warm for us. I've had okra grow well into October, and I've had to chop it down while it was still producing. So I'll just leave those there and let them grow as long as I want to. Both the sweet potatoes and the okra and these yams. So good choice for growing in the super heat of the super summer. Hey, thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening today. I hope you have happy gardening. Like our videos and follow us. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care.